So, this is my latest parcel to arrive, all the way from China. Ooh. Love cables. So they're jumper leads. USB lead. Some other bits and bobs. Other leads. Another lead. And then the pièce de résistance. The brains. Which has got dip switches on. Some more connections. So you might be wondering what it is. More to follow. Dilly dilly. Okay, hi folks. Welcome to another edition of Anths Innovations. Today I'm going to be installing Apple Carplay or Android as well, because I don't have Apple iPhone, but it works for the Android system too. So that requires to be installed behind all of this and integrated into the system, whereby I would select a button, can't remember which one it is, probably media, and that will then bring up the Apple CarPlay on the OEM screen. So first things to do are to remove the front multimedia system. So on this particular one, it's the Audi B8.5, so a 2015 model. It's got your two SD cards in there. And Audi multimedia. On older models, yeah, it may have some radio controls on, which then requires to take the fascia off, take out your air vents, undo some bolts, etc, etc. There's plenty of videos on YouTube on how to do that, fairly straightforward. But if you have this particular fascia on there, the multimedia on the 8.5, then you just simply locate two little recesses. If you look very closely on this fascia system, it's that difficult to see even with the camera, but there is literally two little recesses there which allows you to insert. You can get a special tool, just look on Amazon or eBay, you get a key to put in, but I've got some old radio keys here. Basically anything flat. The original Audi keys that you get, or the aftermarket ones, if you like, that will allow you to take this off, do have a taper on like that. Not 100% sure if that's actually required, but you just simply find that recess and then push in, he says. There it is. So it's on that side, sorry, I was looking at the wrong place. So you just push your keys in there, yeah, and then remove the dashboard. That'll release the locking mechanism. I've done this already on both sides, so now you can see that the whole system will actually pull out, giving you access to the connections on the back. So apart from the fascia at the front, this is just like a standard single DIN stereo. Yeah, it's just the fascia that is obviously specific to the car. So at the back, it's not too dissimilar to actual radio connections. Yeah. So what I'll do now is I've got my tripod set up, so I'll switch the camera over to the tripod so you can see what's happening down around the back here as I connect and or disconnect and reconnect and integrate the Apple CarPlay into the system. See you soon. Okay, so I have disconnected all the cables. They're fairly self-explanatory for those who are doing some sort of install like this. You'll have an idea of radios, otherwise you wouldn't be attempting it. But yeah, you've got your snap releases there for the main part. That's for your visual display up to the screen. That's an input. I don't know what that's for, but that's an input, that's an output. Again, that'll be from the antenna, I believe, and some other cables there. Anyway, as I say, fairly straightforward to disconnect them. And then we've just got to disconnect the actual air conditioning fascia, which is fairly straightforward. So once you've got the stereo out the way and disconnected, just simply give a firm tug on either side of that, and that should dislodge like so. So there's the fascia there, and we just need to remove these. So you just lift up on the red tabs. I'll just get a screwdriver. So you've got to push these red tabs up out the way first. They'll be a little bit stiff like so. It's just this one you need to remove. You don't need to remove the other one. And then we can simply push in on the black tab and then lift. It's out the way. Let's see, they will be in there quite snug, so they'll take a little bit of wiggling, and there you go. So that's that one out there. So it's fairly straightforward, simple process now. We have, for all these leads look quite complex, they're really quite simple. So where you've unplugged one, you plug it in another. So if we look at the the one that we took out the back of the radio, that's going to go into this, which is simulating the back of the radio. So you'd simply slot that into there, if it's the right way, which it is. Put that into there, like so. Close up on the snap connector until it's fully home. Just making sure that it is all getting pushed in correctly. You don't want any pins to get damaged. And then simply that end is now going to go into the back of the stereo. Yeah, so whatever we've unplugged, we just plug it in, and then the jumper lead is then going to go into there. So this is given the link to integrate the CarPlay system. Again, this one here, so one end is going to go into the air conditioning unit that we've just took out, and then again the other cable is going to connect into that. Yeah, so we can see the bypass cable there, or the integrated cable, and so on and so forth. Yeah, we've got one for that, the video for up onto the screen. So again, we're going to have a male and a female end. So you're going to connect the grey, which is the output up to the screen, into the female end of that. Yeah, and then again this bit is going to go into the grey part on the stereo. Yeah, like so. Yeah, we'll push in. I don't want to put it into place now because I'm going to have to do this all neat and find out where I'm going to install the actual CarPlay itself. So, as I say, it looks a bit of a mess, but it's really quite straightforward. You can't really go wrong as long as everything's connected up again and you've integrated this wiring harness, then you should be all systems go. So I'll just pause it there and then just find a place where I can locate the actual brains of the system, and then show you how I've installed that once everything's connected up. Dilly dilly. Okay, so continuing with the CarPlay, we can see now I've got all the stereo back in, aircon controls, everything back to how it was. And tucked behind there is the Apple CarPlay. So let's see how it works. So ignition on. In fact, I'll start the car. Okay, so the moment of truth. So we see we've got the, if I just flip that back to the normal screen. So that's our normal screen. Now we see if I select media and I just press it, then that's just the normal media. And then if I press and hold this, hopefully, haha, there we go. So that is the Apple CarPlay now displayed on my OEM screen. Now hopefully I can use the dials on here. There we go, to select whatever it is I want. So I'm going to setup, obviously change some parameters in there. HDMI, I haven't put anything into the HDMI socket, but if there was anything, you could plug it in there, whether that be a DVD player, well, you know, whatever. I mean, that plays DVDs anyway, so, but anyway, that's an HDMI cable. Camera, so if I had connected a rear view camera to one of the input terminals, then again, this is where I would see that. And it would come on automatically if I select reverse, because it had the cables that would connect to basically the reversing wire that goes off to the reverse lights. So that would come on automatically, or you would manually select it there. USB for USB. I have got the USB port there, but that's just for the charge for the phone. Well, charge and data, which we'll get on to in a bit. Auto link is not applicable for me. Wire auto, the wire auto is what I'm going to be using for the Android, so I would connect my phone to that wired into the bottom of my phone, and that's the one I would select. AirPlay and CarPlay, that's for iPhone only. So the only one I'm using from here is wired auto. Please connect your Android device. I haven't got a cable, so I can't connect that at the moment, and I'll do another video for that. But basically that is it. Once I select that and I'm wired, then I'll be able to select you know, stuff like Waze, voice commands, etc. So I will get a cable and continue with that video and more, but otherwise more than happy with that. So I think I just disconnect from this, I would just select any of the other buttons. So I'll go back to radio, and there we go, we've gone back to radio as normal. So look forward to the last video, which will be with the cable connected. Dilly. Okay, so on to the last video now. So for Volkswagen Audi, for the CarPlay to get sound through your car, you've got to connect into the AVI socket. For those that own the cars, will know where that is and what it's for. I've just connected to it's got a 3.5 jack plug. It doesn't connect to anything. All you've got to do is have that plugged in there. That allows you then to go to the source at the top and select external audio input. This will allow the sound to come from CarPlay through your car. Okay, I'll now go back onto the main screen for Apple Android, because we can see now I've got my cable connected. Okay, so it's booted straight up there, straight onto Waze. So if I go back to the screen that you would be presented with, if that wasn't the last one that I was on, and there we have it. So once I select CarPlay and I'm wired into my phone, this is the functionality I've got. Waze, phone, which is handy if I didn't have an inbuilt phone system in the car. Again, Waze is handy if you don't have an inbuilt sat-nav. Using live data, obviously it does use your data off your phone then. Google Maps, messages, which will speak any messages during that drive. Same with Teams, any messages within Microsoft Teams will be spoken text through the car speakers. Weather, you can click on that, it'll give you a weather update for your current location. WhatsApp, again, any new messages in WhatsApp will be voice, basically given in voice over the car stereo or car speakers. Customized, so again you can change some different parameters there for the background, etc. So that in a nutshell is Apple CarPlay. A good installation, brings the car bang up to date. Those who are posh enough to have this already installed, then you'll already appreciate the good functionality of this, but it's a good retrofit for any of these older vehicles. Not just specific to Volkswagen Audi group, pretty much any car you can fit the Apple Android into nowadays. Hope you found that useful. Dilly dilly.